Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review and first movie review of 2018, and it's gonna be another 20th anniversary review because now we're in 2018. Now I'm gonna be start reviewing films that came out celebrating 20th anniversary films that came out in 1998, and starting with this one, which this came out on Christmas of 1998, and the film bombed badly. But besides being bombing for me, I enjoyed the film. I think this is another one that's a Disney film that's under the radar a lot. Doesn't get talked much nowadays. And that of course is the 20th anniversary review of the Disney film Mighty Joe Young. Starring the late Bill Paxton, who I love. Just an actor I will miss dearly. I still do. And Charlize Theron, who I enjoy as an actress. And Mighty Joe Young, like I said, it came out on Christmas Day, 1998, and the film cost about $90 million. The film made only $50 million, so the film was a big flop, sadly. It was given mixed reception, as a 52% Rotten Tomatoes. It has a 5.6 on IMDb. I wouldn't say it wouldn't deserve that. I'd give it much higher ratings to me. But Mighty Joe Young it's a guy it's directed by Ron Underwood. If anyone knows the name Ron Underwood, to me immediately you can see directed one of my favorite creature feature films of all time, a childhood film of mine as well, Tremors. So this is a guy who directed Tremors, and he also directed City Slickers with Daniel Stern and Billy Crystal, which I enjoy. That was a film where Jack Palance won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in that movie. And I haven't seen the other films he directed, like Stealing Sinatra, I think it was, and then Speechless with Michael. I think it was with Michael Keaton. I think Speechless, and there was another one that I forget though. But of course the film I would say that basically finished him off because he directed the Eddie Murphy film, The Adventures of Pluto Nash, and that was one of the biggest flops of all time. That's the film that just blew it for him. Because that's why he only did the two films after that. One was still in Sinatra, I think it was called In the Mix, and that's it. It was back in 2005. He hasn't directed another film since then. And he's just stuck in directing lots of TV episodes for a lot of shows, and that's sad. If he didn't direct, maybe if he hadn't directed Pluto Nash, maybe he got more. But from directing Tremors alone, and City Slickers alone, the guy should give another chance. I mean, he did a good job of directing this film as well, and I enjoy Bill Paxton, and Charlize Theron. And the special effects by Rick Baker were great in this movie. I would say about a 95% it was all practical of Joe. It was nice. It was really nice to see. Even a little bit if it was CG, it was couldn't it made it look exactly how it was for the practical effects, but I thought it was good CG for the little bits that it had. But throughout most of the movie, it was all done practical for Joe, and Rick Baker did an excellent job. It's just too bad because he retired because specifically he can't keep up with the amount of people use of CG nowadays because they said they wanted to go the cheaper route, which I agree. Either go for broke, go all out. Yeah, it may cost a little bit more, but at least you're going all out and create something that's real, like Joe, because you see there's actually seeing something that's physically in the movie instead of looking. If for a CG character, you're just staring at nothing. If I'm staring right here, I'm staring at like a dinosaur right here, and it's CG. I'm staring at nothing. But here, they're actually looking at something that's really physically there, and actually, I enjoy that, and I appreciate that. I enjoy what Rick Baker has done. This film was even nominated for an Oscar for Best Effects, and I think he deserved it. It didn't win though, but it deserved to be nominated because the effects on Joe were excellent. And it's also a remake as well that I enjoy. I haven't seen the 1949 original. I have not seen the original, but I can definitely say I like this a lot. And I enjoy the score by James Horner. May he rest in peace. Another composer that I enjoy. You know, since from Aliens and among others. I enjoy the score. I do. And Ron Underwood did a good job of directing. Sorry about this, but though this whole section that I had was talking about the movie didn't go through, so I had to redo this whole section. That's why there was a cut there. Because I hate to do a thing that had too many cuts though, but if I do a whole one, I might not get the whole thing. So I do apologize for that. But yeah, I thought it was a good directed by Ron Underwood, and like I said, the story is, the film it opens up and it's like somewhere, I think it was like in the African jungle, I think. But it shows that Charlize Theron as character, which was a girl with her mother, and Joe when he was a little baby, and one night when poachers come in, they shoot Joe's mother, and they ultimately shoot her Jill's mother. And when Jill's mom's dying, holding on to her, singing the lullaby before her dying, and which is just kind of sad though. But Paymer promised to take care of Joe, and it was 12 years later, and Bill Paxton, who was a guy from California, he's ordered to take a blood sample from a leper they capture, and when they have him in the cage and he already takes a blood sample, he tells them to they want to take it with them, but Bill Paxton says no, let it go. And then Joe comes in, big, and not as big as King Kong though, and just really well done effects by Rick Baker. Just like I enjoy Rick Baker did a really great job with the effects. Like 95% of the time, all done practical effects. But a little bits with CG, I thought it was pretty decent CG. Didn't look that bad at all. And Joe comes in and just lifts the leopard out of the cage, and Bill Paxton decided to go after him. And he just wants to take a blood sample, but the other guys, one tries to tranquilize him, and he knocks the truck over. Another guy tries to grab him with his thing and has attached to a chain. Joe stops and just yanks the chain the whole thing off the truck. But then he starts to go after him alone, and he gets picked up by Joe, but then Charlie Stone comes in and tells him to drop him. But he's not unconscious, but he's taken back to the village, and he decides to go back. He decides to go back in again, and sees Charlize Theron playing hide and seek with Joe, and it's just well done. Rick Baker did a good job giving Joe emotion and personality to him. It shows in the face, and always when he's getting excited to play hide and seek, And Bill Paxton gets caught by Joe, and Charlize Theron destroys the camera because he's wanting more knowing about Joe, but he tells him that poachers are going to come anyway, and he needs a safer place, and he knows a place in California where there's no poachers. So she doesn't want to, but ultimately she agrees, and they take him all the way to California. And shows a car pass in, the little kid's waving to him, does this through the truck. And he gets this preserve, and she's trying to adapt through this whole environment. And on the news, our lead bad guy sees him because now he doesn't have no. He wears his glove because now when he shot Joe's mother and Jill's mother, Joe bit off his thumb and index finger. So yeah, he wears his glove to cover that up. Sees them, goes all the way to California to see them, and Joe's trying to adapt. And there's this big party, and Charlize Theron was worried about Joe because the bad guys were riling him up again with the chains that usually notes for poaching, and ultimately when the party comes, the poacher, the lead bad guy, looks at Joe. Joe recognizes him. He's getting all angry and using the thing to do it again. And ultimately, pun intended, he goes ape shit, tries to go after the bad guy, but Bill Paxton tranquilizes him, and now there's no choice but put him in a bigger cage because he's been called dangerous. But Regina King and David Paymer, who works there, they help him out to because the bad guy told Charlize Theron some bullcrap stuff about he can be a separate place that has much more bigger land than this. So it puts him in the semi truck with the semi. It puts him in the semi truck where they're in. But Bill Paxton realized that the two other workers had stuff left, had a box with some of that rattling keychains or whatever. Bill Paxton knows it belongs to poachers, and he goes after them. And Charlize Theron recognizes the bad guy now because of his not because of his missing fingers, but also she remembers when she was a girl that the really bad guy called Joe a name called Monstrous or something like that, and now she realizes, and she jumps out of the truck, and Joe shakes the truck and goes on its side. He breaks out, and he's on Hollywood Boulevard, and he gets some funny stuff like. Some people are scared of him, but there are some people that are liking the guy. Like there's some teens, that are like laughing. They're like, yeah, and all that. And you have a funny scene where Joe, he touches his car and the car alarm goes off. He hits it once, it goes different noise, and hits it again, different noise, and then he sits on the car, and until it stops, and he goes like, See, that's what I like. It's just. Joe has a personality and emotion to him, and not only well done by Rick Baker, but just I like that, and like he there's a group of girls, he just lifts their car up like a little bit to the side and just keeps on walking, and the girl's like, oh, that was so cool, and then he's on the Hollywood sign, and then he gets chased by the police on helicopters and loses them, and he sees like this light in this carnival. Because what Charlize Theron did, he waited like the flashlight to draw him out. So he goes there, and then the bad guys get there too. The lead bad guy gets able to shoot Charlize Theron, but his assistant tells him, "You're not gonna shoot her. You're a hunter. You're not a hunter. You're a murderer," and knocks him out. And holds her gunpoint and says, goodbye, and she says goodbye back, and Joe picks him up, throws him, and makes him land on some electrical wires, and he gets electrocuted to death. But also causes this fire leak, and it just causes the carnival to catch on fire. And then there's a boy who's still trapped on the Ferris wheel. I think it's the same boy they passed by to him earlier in the car when he arrived. I think it's the same boy. Then it shows like Joe, he has that motion. He's like, when he's up all the way up there, so he climbs up to get him. The cops get there to ready to shoot him, but they say no, hold your fire, because he's saving the boy. But then the Ferris wheel, it topples down, and Joe falls with the boy holding him, but the boy's fine, and they think Joe's dead, but he's not. And so they want to get into a safer place. And then everybody starts giving them money to raise money for him to get a safer place. Like the boy gives him money, and the lead cop, which I recognize. He's been small. I've said about this particular guy before. He's been in smaller roles in other films. Like, you mostly recognize him. He was in The Fugitive. He was the security guard that was on the prison bus. You know, when the train comes, he's like, "What the hell was that?" Or he was in Free Willy. Probably the biggest role the guy had was in Free Willy. Was the assistant to Michael Ironside. But you see him. He's like kind of like the mustache like guy has, and you only see him in smaller roles in other films though. But you would recognize the guy. He's Richard Riley, I think is the guy's name. The guy, to me, as I see him a lot, and in other films, small roles. But it's like, okay, that guy should be recognized more. Not, but he's in this. He likes like the lead cop of the part of this part, and he also helps donate money to them. You know, so here for Joe. But and then ultimately he goes back to where his place at, like where he was from, like his like Charlize Theron's friends, the tribal people where she was at. Hoping to open up the Joe Wildlife Park and just let him roam free. And that's when where Charlize Theron was saying that he's now free, you know, and all that. So yeah, it's much shorter. It's just simple enough though, but I think the film to me didn't deserve to flop though. Although because it came out on Christmas Day and it had competition though, but I don't think to me it didn't deserve the flop. But Bill Paxton, I still enjoy. May he rest in peace. I still miss the guy. Charlize Theron, I enjoy her as an actress. Like for the this like 2017, like I thought she played a good bad guy in Fate of the Furious. Atomic Blonde, she wasn't the problem. I think she did a good job in the movie Atomic Blonde. I just thought it was just when I saw it, I was like, well, the trailer made it look more action than it was though, but it was not when I saw it, so I was kind of disappointed in it though. But Charlize Theron, she did a good job in Atomic Blonde though. She wasn't the problem. Mad Max Fury Road, I thought I liked her more than Tom Hardy did. So Charlize Theron, I like her as an actress. She does a lot of good films, and I like her in this. I buy the friendship that she has with Joe. And gives it the film heart to it. Um, Rick Baker, excellent job with the effects. You know, I can tell he went all out on it. You know, just that's the thing. You know, it's physically there where the actors can see that they're seeing an actual effect on screen more than when when you're in a film and you're standing next to a CGI character. It's not really there. You're basically staring at nothing. That's why I still appreciate that. Because I don't blame Rick Baker for retiring because they said he can't keep up with the amount of the use of CG. They decided to go the cheaper route instead of making real effort like he did, because they still want to go the cheaper route. There's too many big budget films where it's heavy CG on everything. You know, just seeing stuff that's not there, or seeing stuff that's really there. So I do appreciate it. Rick Baker did an excellent job on Joe. I appreciate him going all out on it. It's given also creating Joe personality and emotion, especially when his face, like when told the boy in the Ferris wheel he was happy to do hide and seek and all that. Still enjoys. He's a composer that I also miss, and Jerry Goldsmith is my favorite music composer. I miss the guy, but James Horner I also do enjoy, from Aliens to Land Before Time and many other movies. Jumanji. So he did a good job with the score. Ron Underwood also did a good job of directing as well. And the pacing, I thought it was well paced. It's only an hour. It's 114 minutes. So like an hour. Yeah, an hour and 47 minutes. Yeah, it's still well paced, and I don't think there's too many problems with the film. So. But yeah, I still enjoy the film. It's just it's a Disney film that's under the radar, and it's a remake that I like. I haven't seen the 1949 original Mighty Joe Young though, but I still. But I do appreciate, but not only did Bill Paxton and Charlize Theron were good, but the highlight of the film is the well done effects that Britt Baker did. That's the highlight of the film because 95% it's all practical and it's really there. Even for the little CG bits it was still decent. It was still pretty decent. It wasn't that bad looking though, but it just gave charm, personality, emotion. Just nowadays they don't want to do that no more. I mean, when you look at Rampage, it's obviously everything is CG'd, and my interest is getting lower and lower now because not only because of Dwayne Johnson's two bad films he did with Jumanji and Baywatch, but I gotta say that the effects in this film are still better than the CGI George and Rampage. I already knew all that because I knew it was all gonna be CG in Rampage. I already knew all that. But I do appreciate, but 20 years later, I still appreciate, I always appreciate good practical effects though, and this was a great example, especially from Rick Baker. It was even nominated for best effects, and it deserved it, but it didn't win though, but it still did deserve to be nominated because the effects in this were excellent. Rick Baker did a great job with the effects. That film right there gets a lot of hate more. But Stan Winston, I still think he did a good job with the gorilla suits. People can hate that Congo all they want, especially with the great gorillas and all that. I disagree. I think that the effects by Stan Winston were excellent in Congo. That film's underrated as well. And Ron Underwood, if he didn't do a Pluto Nash, probably would have got more work. Because that film basically just hurt him a lot. I mean, he hasn't done much since. Especially, he's just stuck doing TV shows. But when you had Tremors, which is a classic and a childhood favorite of mine, and then you got City Slickers that Jack Palance won for an Oscar for that movie. The guy deserves to be more deserving. I mean, does anyone? I know no one cares about Pluto Nash nowadays. Just give the guy another chance to make another film. But anyway, what we can do is what's done is done now. So, but I enjoy 20th anniversary of Mighty Joe Young. 20 years later, it's still a good Disney movie, a good remake, I would say. Rest in peace, Bill Paxton, Charlize Theron. I enjoy both of them. I already said too many times now about the effects by Rick Baker were excellent, and it's hard to it because you buy with the whole friendship between Charlize Theron and Joe they have, and it's just one. It's a film that doesn't get talked nowadays. I recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it. I give it a thumbs up still. But yeah, good effects, good two leads like Bill Paxton, Charlize Theron, and good score by the late James Horner, good directed by Ron Underwood. But yeah, that's the 20th anniversary of Mighty Joe Young. I would just check it out if you haven't seen it, and there's a lot more to come. So yeah, for more 20th anniversary reviews and also 30th anniversary reviews from films from 1988 as well. So yeah, the first review of 2018, especially for a 20th anniversary review as well. Mighty Joe Young, still worth a look. Didn't deserve to flop though, but oh well. But yeah, Mighty Joe Young, I still enjoy it. But thanks for watching and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.